So, 7 years ago, Halo Wars 1 came out, and now the beta's coming out for Halo Wars 2. It is on Xbox One. I'm not sure about other consoles, but I am on Xbox One. First off, on my own impressions, there is only one map and only one game mode, and you can play with 2v2s. There is no 3v3s, or I'm not sure about 1v1s, 'cause I didn't play one. But there is 2v2s, but there's only one game mode. As you can imagine, that sounds boring, especially for a beta. I thought betas were to test out the game and to get people to want to buy it and get people interested. It's hard to get people interested in a game where there is only literally one thing to do. As you know from my Overwatch video, there was more than one game mode. There was like 3? I played 3 game modes. I know for sure that I played 3. And Halo Wars, Halo being a big franchise, making a beta with one game mode and one map, that doesn't seem like they really care about the game at all, even though there has been some people demanding for it and some lot of players wanting it, and still having some players playing Halo Wars 1 on 360, as my friend told me. Now, as I would normally like to make a comparison to Halo Wars 1 to Halo Wars 2, I did not play Halo Wars 1, so I only have someone else's opinion to go off on, but I would like to drift away from that as I do not want to make some statements that are false. So instead of comparing it to Halo Wars 1, I will compare it to a different game that I will talk about later and talk about the beta first. So as I said, there is only one game mode and one map, and this is a 2v2. This is one of my first games, so I don't know what I'm doing generally. First off, when you start in the game, there is a tutorial that is not very interactive, but you do interact somewhat, and it does tell you how to do certain things, but I ended up skipping it, and now I'm here. Though I did skip it, I did not really lose any games. I lost 2, but other than that, I won like 4. I only played like 6 games, and that was pretty much it. And then I got off it afterwards because I went to go play a different game. Because there is only one game mode, and from what my friend told me, this is not the natural game mode. Naturally, you would go and attack your enemy base and try and take them down. But as you can see, that is not the main objective, as you can see on the map, the enemy base is right next to ours. So that is not the main objective, obviously. It is to capture the points, which I don't know why in a massive army building strategic game you would go capture points. Maybe if you're playing Call of Duty and you love that game, maybe you'd enjoy it, but if you're playing a game like this from a bird's eye view and commanding large groups of armies, I don't see why you would need to capture points. That doesn't really make sense why they would make the game mode this. Maybe make this game mode if there was other game modes to play. Now, from what I believe, since my friend was displeased with this game mode, this is not what they naturally play. and they really do destroy the enemy base. But from as you can see, this is not the main objective. I don't know why they would do that or why they would try and do that. I'm guessing they were trying to keep up with the modern Call of Duty thing or whatever, but this is not what I would try and play if I had a... What is this, honestly? I don't know what to say about this, and I don't know... What is this game? What kind of strategy frickin' game is this? Now, this is what I would compare it to. Or I would argue this is equal to Halo Wars potential. Air Macarena. What most of you probably don't know this because it doesn't really have a lot of downloads, but it has some. I would say that this is on par with Halo Wars. I can't really say for it myself completely, but I would put it out there and I would match it up even if I haven't played the game before. It sounds stupid and it sounds crazy, but I would. Me and that specific friend have played Air Macarena on 360 for I don't know how many games, and each game would last around 30 minutes to maybe 50. So each game lasted a while, depending on the map that you were in. Maps like this one in the beginning would probably take you on an online match maybe 20, 30 minutes max, probably. It depends on your opponent. That's what I like. It depends on your opponent on how long the game goes, because you need to destroy your enemy's main base. As in domination, where you don't need to, you can just capture the point, hold one point or hold this one, group up your armies even larger, and then your opponent has no chance to keep up and no chance to win. So in games where you have massive armies and all you need to do is hold a point, that doesn't make sense. Because while you are holding a point and your opponent is struggling to take points, he cannot, as you are building more and masses around it. So this doesn't really make sense to me. You don't need to build defense in Halo Wars. You don't need to. Which, why? Why is there no defense? Why is it just plain offense? In most strategic games, plain offense doesn't get you anywhere. But obviously in that one it does, because there is no defense and it does not exist. So in this Air Macarena aspect of having offense and defense, it's more favorable in my opinion. Also variety of having different characters, so to say, in Halo Wars. You have more characters, which I didn't see in Halo Wars 2 because there was only 2. But in Air Macarena, this is a free game, by the way. Air Macarena, there is more air mechs that you can unlock as you level up, and having more air mechs, and they have different abilities, just as in Halo Wars 2, where different characters have different things. I don't know what to call them, they just have different things. I haven't played as the other character, I just know that they're different. In this game, you're actually engaged in the combat, which is personally what I prefer. I prefer being engaged in combat. I don't like standing around and watching everything be destroyed. I would actually personally like to destroy it myself. So, as maniacal as that sounds, I do like destroying things, and I do like doing it by my own hand. So as I'm watching myself destroy things, I am enjoying killing things as this goes by. I am placing down tanks and taking over neutral bases, and I am winning. Though this is only against AIs, because I was only demonstrating the game and introducing it. I am winning because they are bots, but this game does introduce a lot of things that Halo Wars does not, such as the items that you can customize with the air mechs and a large amount of units you could customize your loadouts with. You don't have to have the same loadout, and you don't have to have a limited amount of things you can do. Because of the capture points and domination, there is only one thing you can do, and it is capture the points. In this game, Air Mech Arena, there is no domination, and you don't have to do something stupid like that. Right now, I am going with a small push towards their base, which is something that a lot of people do, especially in small maps like this, where they are trying to occupy your other bases. You go for a small push, and they're forced to go back and help defend while you make more troops. Now, naturally, if I had a second teammate, he would be doing that while I take over bases, or I would be doing small pushes, or we both would be doing a big push and take them out instantly as their base is already at half health. But this, again, is against AIs, so it seems a lot easier than it really is. In this game, you do have a limited amount of space. As you can see on the top screen, I am 45 out of 80. Taking over more bases will increase 80 to maybe 96, and losing a base would decrease it obviously from 80 to maybe 56, 54. I don't remember exactly how much each base increases your capacity, but it does increase and decrease. And there is two different forms to an air mech, as you can see while I transform between them. I am air unit. I am the plane right now, which drops. Obviously, you drop down and you transform to ground unit to take down artillery and infantry on the ground. There is no air units. You are yourself the air unit. So anti-air is a unit there that takes down other opponents, because you are the air. You are the air attacks. You can only place down ground infantry and defense. You defend your bases and you stop the enemy from taking them, which helps a lot. You want more bases and you want to defend them. As in Halo Wars 2, you could not defend anything as it was domination. I was not clear on that of Halo Wars, if there was different bases to take over and if you could or had to defend them. I was not clear on that. I did not answer it, so I will not say that Halo Wars 1 did not. But I'm comparing Halo Wars 2 beta to America Arena, and from what I've seen from Halo Wars 2 only. So if you would like to comment about Halo Wars 1, I would gladly like to know, because I do not. But there is different bases you take over, and there are different items to customize your air mech, different items give me bonuses such as flight speed, carry weight, and other things. They also come with the drawbacks, such as a bonus carry weight item might also have a reduced airspeed, so they might catch up to me if I'm trying to fly away with some troops that I used or will use to try and capture their base. So they can shoot me down a lot quicker if I do have that item. So each item has a drawback, obviously. No item will have just bonuses, which is a good thing. You can't exactly see what items your enemy has, which is good, but also bad. But you can see what air mechs they have. When they're playing inside the game, You obviously can see their loadout, or not their loadout, their air mech, and you can plan how to counter it. Obviously, everyone knows what each air mech does and knows that each of them has a different ability, and each one must know how to get over one. Such as the saucer. The saucer has a death ray ability, which is super strong, so super strong artillery will take down the super strong death ray, as killing the saucer really quick is the best way to get rid of him. It also has an abduct, which turns enemy artillery to friendly. Taking down that would mean you would need air defense, which air defense is super strong as there is only one air, which is yourself, the air mech. So that is that. Another thing is the strategic capabilities of this game. If you are losing and they only have one base, their home base, you can come back from that. I have experienced it before. Sadly, it was against us, and it was not us. We were at their home base, and they were at a little less than what the base is right now against the AIs. They were a little bit below that, and they were about to lose, and then they just did something. They, one of their teammates, because this game can go up to 4v4s now. Before on 360 it was only 3v3s, that was the max, but now there is 4v4s. But on 360 it was 3v3, one of the teammates, we didn't see him, took over one of the bases that had no defense, and then we completely ignored him because we thought we could just do one huge push. They ended up killing our push and then taking over us, because the higher the level you are in the game, the longer the respawn. So that wasn't very good. So I have still yet to see a use, and I've still yet to see someone do something that requires strategic value in the beta. Yes, there are good people in the beta. Yes, there is. But I haven't seen anything that's worth trying besides a large amount of troops pushing to one point, get some more, gather with your friend, and then all large massive army just pushing up to one point. That's basically what I've seen the whole games that I've played. So over that, I would rather play Air Mech Arena than sit there and build useless amounts of troops just to push and win that easily. Personally, I don't prefer that, and I probably won't. So I'll stick to this game and not buy Halo Wars 2 unless maybe I see something that might interest me instead of domination all over again. I think I'll stay to Call of Duty for that. This is how you do it.
This is dancing? I don't know either.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
What?
Oh, on your face?
Wait, did I put...
I've never had one of these before. Don't worry, I'll make your dreams come true.